that's good. So we just yes to everything. But then
that's before you got in. I knew it was coming. I could feel it.
I had to come out and cry.
yeah, I used to do that too.
The what?
3%. And welcome everyone. This is the second episode of the two-person Dooley, and I guess we will find another name for the second episode while we are in that. We will talk about the business mindset, and we also have an awesome guest together with us, Ferry. And you all know him from all the creative and great content as well. And once you see one of the content, you can't forget it anyway, I can tell. I will be asking some questions to do middle by starting you mainly. Could you tell me, James, what are the 3 worst decisions that you have given in the business world that you regret for?
3 worst decisions. So,
one is not joining my workshop.
Yeah, today I didn't join Koray's workshop. I need to say that because Koray, prior to this, was so annoyed. So that's definitely my number 1.
Yeah.
I think the other 2, I'd need to make certain that I'm talking both of them with regards to time management. Because I'm fine wasting money in an investment or a venture because that's just life. Not every single kind of venture that you do works. But when I'm wasting time,
it's not coming back.
It's not coming back. So from that point of view, I've done quite a lot of training courses and I've followed the training courses for many years. And then I realised that the training courses are just not even out of date. They just never worked when I look back at it. So that's like one massive failure. And then not early enough adapting to doing the masterminds and the meetups and actually meeting with so many now what I class as being friends and family like yourself. Like I fully enjoy coming doing these meetups now that we can share and experience stuff together. And I've always been your network is your net worth. I've always been that. But I used to just attend the conferences, and I'm talking like 8-9 years ago, and never bolt on and grab the people that I really respected and pull them to one side and say, let's get in a room together and let's have a good time. It's important for us to do this.
Yeah.
So I would say that. What's yours though, Carl?
Probably similar to, so obviously I've been an SEO for a very long time. And one of my biggest regrets is after going to, I originally met Dooley at a mastermind, but it was like when I was like 20, 8 years ago, so 20.
I guess Charles invited you.
Yeah, Charles invited. And I'm like, oh my God, how much more experience and better off would I have been in business, networking at a younger age when SEO was easier. Let's face it, SEO was much easier way back then.
Yeah.
That's it.
So basically, what he's telling you is when he met Dooley, it changed his life.
And then it's all downhill from there.
That is a little snippet now. He's going to walk down the shot.
And yours, man?
But I think mine was also not doing something. It's not having the courage to start like a real career in tech, because I was, like painting cars for many years, and it took me too long to actually quit my job and start the business. So I dragged it out too much. When I could have, let's say, done it in like 2014 or 2013, it took me only 2017 until I dragged it. I could even do it earlier, but I didn't have the courage. I didn't believe in myself.
Was that like a confidence?
Yeah, it was.
Issue?
I also don't know how old are you, by the way.
I'm 40 this year.
Really?
Yeah, I'm still 39, so...
You seem actually 34, 35.
Yeah, I know. I take lots of supplements, and I only watch comedy movies as well, so I'm not sad. So it helps.
Yeah, I can't imagine you sad, actually.
No. I mean,
it's a great feature.
Yeah. But I
behind
kind of...
the cameras, maybe.
Yes, behind the camera, they cry. Sometimes I am sad, but, not like the sad. Yeah. I think I treat depression with I treat the kind of with the sadness with setting up a big goal and then going for it. It just makes you forget, that you're sad. It just, when you're on fire to do something, the world doesn't exist.
Yeah. I also always feel like maybe the age, when you get older, actually, your brain starts to change chemically. And that's why for instance, in 20s, the things that I couldn't understand, it's way much easier to understand in 30s.
Yeah, it's
I guess
simple
it would
now,
be same
yeah.
like 40s too. So
Yeah, it's simple.
It'll be interesting when I'm in my 30s for me to know
I
this.
can imagine your 30s. I came to many parties with you. So I am not even sure that whether everyone survived from your parties, to be honest. Some of them might be
We lose
lost.
years. We lose years off our life when we
Yeah,
party.
yeah, definitely.
What about yours? What's your biggest failures?
I believe the wrong decisions. One of them might be leaving the casino after the medical update. Actually, I could stay and continue there as much as possible. Second one would be like I'm too much focused on sharing information rather than focusing on business. I always wanted to change the industry. It was like an obsession. Still, I have it a little bit, but I'm trying to stay away from that. The third one would be like I create too much personal attachment to the people. It affects my decision judgment, and that's why I'm not a no man. I always say yes, since I see people like friends. I would like to be able to prioritize my own family first, actually. Then I would like to do these extra favors if I have time.
So when you say to the people, is it to clients or is it to employees or to which
That's
people?
one of the things, because in the business, because since I came from the casino niche, when we have the company that we have, everyone was very close to each other. And I had that habit when I come to the other industries too, and I thought that the same dynamics would work for there too. It works well too for some people, like minority. I can tell, like Carl, James, so I'm very easy and comfortable with them. That's why he should come to the Michael workshop. But
Not better.
but when it comes to some other angles, I believe I should be able to understand that I am a brand now and I can't have that much personal relationships. Because even if I see myself a regular guy and I behave like a regular person, people get different messages from the behaviors that you give.
Like for example?
For instance, like I was in Vietnam, and when I smile someone, they get it with a different context. They become happy. I'm also happy for that too, but they exaggerate it, to be honest. And they feel a little bit different. For instance, I was eating in a burger place. We have eaten together too, and actually, it was the first time that I saw Weipa from autoblogging, basically.
Oh yes.
And he wasn't working with you then, and he just told me that, Koray, you are so humble. It's very easy to approach you. And I was thinking, like, why it should be hard? Why it should be hard? And whenever they say that you are humble, I don't get what they mean. But I guess they mean that they're not able to approach maybe someone else that easily. So it makes really good amount of friends, but at the same time, it sometimes become harder to manage the time because you need to answer. But when you don't answer, they also get
Yeah,
personal,
they think,
get
yeah.
insulted.
I think not only that as well, Ferry, speaking on behalf of Koray, he's got 15,000 students that adore him for the information that he shared. And when they attend these events, like Rob Nichol, who got up on stage, was like, go and speak to the people that you want to meet. And when you're meeting new people and you're trying to remember their names and you try and remember what they do, it can be so, like, your brain tends to explode. And that's why sometimes when we go and see Koray at the end of the night, you can just see he's drained. He's not Koray. Like, he's drained because he's had 100, 150 people coming to him non-stop.
Yeah.
He's trying to be that nice person.
You cannot remember
Gets
them.
upset over not going to workshops. So
Yeah, it's true. It's overwhelming. I feel
It can be overwhelming. It can be very tiring.
I always actually carry a Novalgin with me because I always, during the conferences, I take yesterday I have taken 2 Novalgin, for instance.
Oh, wow.
It's an anti-migraine pill, and I always take it. Today I have drank maybe like 5 or 6 double espresso to be able to stay energetic, and still I have it, all the caffeine, and tomorrow too it will be the same. So it is a bit, that part is really hard, and I like to have that connection because I help many people from, let's say, Mauritius Island to the people in Vietnam. I always meet with them as their family. I love being able to help them. But when it comes to spending time always together, to be honest, my wife is not happy about that situation. And that's why I feel like after moving out to the Kuşadası, I should have more private life.
So you have to detach yourself a little bit.
Definitely, but when you start to do that, people get resentment.
Yeah,
That
they
part-
think,
Because when you are too close to them and when you start to put some distance, that get a wrong message.
But I would also then say that's one of the little things that you have that we've chatted about, I think, in the last one as well.
Yeah.
Is you let people
Too
affect
close.
your feelings
Yeah.
too
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
I think an easy way of looking at it, right? If you had a business with we was just in a mastermind then before, right? And there was someone in there that says, all 50 members of staff go to...
No,
I'm like,
that's...
you can't do that, right? But why can't you do that? Because maximum, generally, like mad thinkers would say, the maximum you can generally deal with is up to maybe 10. The probably range is 6 to 8 middle managers of what you want to deal with, right? But why can't you? Because it's so time consuming and exhausting. Well, you've almost got to start when you go into these events.
Yeah.
Almost prioritizing some people that you're saying, I really want to, whether it's work and it's a certain client that you want to speak to, and I'm not going to be pulled away from being able to speak to some of the people that I need to speak to or want to speak to. You've almost got to have that priority in place. Like you can't deal with, no disrespect to, let's say, the cleaners, but the cleaners need to speak to head of cleaning or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Or the virtual assistants that are building links or doing outreach. You can't speak to all of those. You can only deal with your head of backlink department and stuff like that. So almost like you would run a business, there's times you've got to prioritize. And yes, it means that you're going to upset some people because you don't have the time to say, not a problem, I'll spend 10 minutes with every single person. But there's one thing that we're all lack, and that's time.
Yeah.
And you've got to start prioritizing and getting better at time management.
It's also, you're absolutely right. That's why actually in Saigon and here too in Zakopane, I just say that actually I just want to be retired from the stages, but I want to put our new top leaders in all this case, your community to the stage. And I want
That'd
to
be nice,
them. Because they are new faces. And at the same time, when they're on stage, I feel like I am on stage as well.
You're proud of it's like almost you're part of your little...
Definitely. In workshop 2, I just say that actually, go and meet with these guys. They already know these things. They already published their own success with it. And also, I also, of course, suggest you as well in a similar way so that they can bother you.
I wouldn't have suggested us.
I wouldn't
Delegate.
because I weren't invited to the workshop.
You don't need an invitation.
Right, anyway, I want to flip this round from forget the weaknesses, forget the failures. Koray, I want to ask you, you're the first one, successes. What makes you happy and what makes you like that you're very proud of and where you've been successful?
I believe that usually these proud moments comes when people send their, let's say, stories with our case studies mainly. Maybe I said it earlier too, but for instance, I saved a cat and that cat has been adopted by an SEO. I saved a cat from this street. He was about to die and an SEO saved it. And the person who accepted the cat or adopted the cat told me that I started SEO during 2020 thanks to your case studies, and he was able to protect his family during the COVID thanks to the case studies as well. And he wanted to just pay that favor back by saving the cat. And these type of personal stories just help me to keep going, actually, rather than the money or other things. Because you will do money, make money anyway. So when it comes to having these personal attachments, it's very much more important. For instance, Jack Long from Vietnam, he created a really successful local SEO agency in the car detailing niche. He's using our framework, and he also saved his family from a hard situation thanks to that. And we were eating Japanese pizza in Vietnam together, and it was a proud moment.
It's better than just money.
Yeah, and for instance, I never forget, during one of my birthdays, one SEO from Bangladesh, he just had sent his kids pictures, 2 kids. They were reading my case studies, and he was telling that he was able to sustain his family. Again, thanks to case studies. When you see these things, you start to not care about the negativity, and you start to just feel that someone needs it, and you're trying to do that. These are the moments that you feel that you feel fulfilled and you are happy. This will be the first thing. The second thing is that I believe I created some new concepts and bring some new angles. And it also makes me a bit proud of that because it takes courage to be able to show another way.
You just shift a little bit. You just shift the industry, you shift the status quo.
But one major thing there is, when I brought the semantics to the mainstream, for instance, I also did a few things that I didn't tell these things earlier, but since I get the attention, many people try to be my client, but I always ask them, for instance, who you are taking consultancy right now. If they give me another consultant name or agency, for instance, I never accept that client and send them back to do that agency because I don't want to take or harm anyone. And another thing is that I always try to help other people to, for instance, that's why I started to tell that actually lately, promote the link building as well. For instance, because some link building agencies, they told me that because of me, they have to always explain things. And I start to tell that, look, the links are also always fundamental for the SEO. And it helps them to actually tell people, look, Koray also says that too, just continue with that. So I didn't compete with people in an aggressive way. I didn't compete at all. I just explained and I try to help everyone. So that personal trait also makes me happy to have. And mainly these two, actually, for SEO at least. And one more thing, I lost everything during the medic updates, and I was able to come back financially as well. So it maybe happened accidentally, but it happened. So it also makes me proud as well.
I think what makes me proud is, again, the fact that I've grown my follower base based on value that I share with case studies and even entertainment. I think entertainment and case studies, and having those messages that you probably also like have lots of them. People messaging you saying, thank you, thank you Ferry for those case studies, for that specific case study. I've done the same thing and I got links in like these publications, or like I've helped my clients, or I set up my agency now and I'm doing digital PR as well. It's just amazing. It's just so proud, such a proud moment when others are flourishing and thriving based on what you did. So you did something and somebody else is better off. It's like nothing can pay that thing. But also, my happiness comes from achievement. I'm very, I am depressed if I'm not achieving something. So I must keep going. I must keep doing things in order to be happy. I would be depressed if I had no mission. I know it may sound bad and it's not good because, of course I'm proud of the family, the kids and my wife and everything, but that would not be a complete satisfaction for me.
Seneca also says the same. He always, in the books at least, he's not alive anymore, but he always says that if the human brain doesn't chase a goal or duty, it will be in a miserable state.
It will.
Brain always should be busy with exploring, achieving, and doing something.
And I think many people who are sad in life, maybe, I know there's lots of depression. I agree with that, but the way I treat sadness sometimes, because you were laughing, you're like, oh, I'm crying, after the videos, but which is not quite, accurate, but it sometimes is, right? Sometimes we are sad. Sometimes, I know you argue with your wife, or you have something that you don't like and you're sad, but then if you challenge your brain with something, you forget about that, and things get resolved by themselves. So I think people who are sad sometimes in life, if we would find a mission, I think that's the first step that I would say, and that's where I find my happiness in achieving things.
And for you, Kurt?
So mine's it's an awkward one, this, because me partner has
you're about to marry, so choose your answer.
We're not gonna censor this.
Yeah. But she often jokes the Bank of Hudson. And this is because I come from quite a, not unsuccessful background, but parents were working class, made a bit of a thing for themselves. But on occasion, they might struggle and need a little bit of help. Luckily, I learned SEO and can help them on that side. So business ventures, I can help them rank and earn money that way. But then sometimes they might need money. So then I help by giving them money as well. And to me, that helps. It ticks a box. I can help family. And then also going out with friends and not really worrying about bills and things like that. Obviously, Dooley usually picks up the bill. That's why I don't worry. But that's before he got in, because I knew it was coming. I can feel it. But that's probably the motivation for me, to be fair, is helping family and friends. And hopefully, I think one of the unique points of when I originally went to Dooley's very first mastermind was, I think it was actually Dooley who said it, in if you had a boat, it's better you all having a boat rather than one person owning a boat and you can all go out and party together type thing. That's kind of the philosophy.
I can see both of you are kind of family driven and a lot of community driven.
What's pretty crazy about we I don't mean this in an arrogant way, with 4 successful people in the SEO industry. We've all not come from any sort of rich background. We've all had to work it, right? we all strive to improve and grow and innovate and have that mission that no matter where we are, we want to go again.
Yeah.
And we all, like, no one's turned around and mentioned like how like a monetary value that we've got to, and money's the byproduct. It's about the journey and actually elevating others. And do you know what? Like, that surely, I'm hoping, must resonate with some people that are at the start of their journey to realise that actually it's all about giving value. And when you give value, money will come. If your end goal is to earn money, that's fine if that's what your mission is. But to get there anyway, the most successful people provide so much value.
You need to develop something more than just...
Just actually understand and actually rub off on people. And when you meet a lot of people that are successful, they all share the same traits.
Well, following on from that, some of the most depressed people I've ever met were multi-millionaires who sold the business, and their goal was money.
Their mission was terminated, and life is over. That was
it. Yeah,
they set themselves an end goal. They've reached the end goal, and it's like, what now? It's like, that's it. You shouldn't do that.
The saddest life I can imagine.
With regards to happiness and success for myself, is I have to say, first would be my kids, my friends, and my family. Like, even this, like, I class you guys now as being family. Do you know what I mean? And I don't say that lightly. Like, genuinely would, when we came down to your office and when we did the Vietnam, and there was a sentence in there saying, I'll always remember this podcast in Vietnam. And I think you said in 10 years' time, I'll always remember this podcast. And it's so true, so lying. Like, because you're sharing times and memories with people, and this is what it's about. And I think it's this meet up and doing things, and I might take one or two little bits from you of information, and I need to start elevating one or two of my staff, like what you're doing, or the culture needs to improve from something, and I might take something from Carl, even though I deal with Carl on a day-to-day basis. When you're out of the normal day-to-day running of the business, you just pick little things up where you go, I didn't realise that, maybe we should do this. And it's the same with you. It's these times that it's not the end goal, it's the journey of getting there, it's the climbing the mountain that's the fun bit. So this now here is what makes me happy. This is what strives me to want to achieve more success. And do I do it for myself? Absolutely not. Like, if you ask me what my biggest success is, I remember my mum about 10 years ago creating a bucket list. And she created 20 things in a bucket list. And I think she's done something like 14 things in that bucket list. And I've helped her do all them 14 and pushed her to, because there are 20 things in a bucket list. It was like, you're never going to do those things unless I make you do it. And sometimes I'd say to her, right, we're going to do that next month. Oh, no, we can't. And then she goes and does it, and it's like, wow, she's loved it. Yeah, but at the time, she's always like, no, I'm too busy, I can't. And it's like,
excuses for us.
It's excuses for doing it. And it's that procrastination, almost like what people have in work. But it's the procrastination of, there's my bucket list. Well, how many of you ticked off? None. Well, what are we going to do next week to tick one of them off, or next month to tick one of them off? So it's all little things like that that sometimes when you're chasing something, it's not just, like I said, money or business. It could be chasing somebody out, helping others to elevate them to reach their goals. And it might just be a mini goal of, I've never been to New York, which is one of my mums. I really want to go to New York. Right, well, we're going to make that happen. We're going to go. One of them was like a random one. On New Year's Eve, I want to be stood at 11:59 for New Year's Eve in the sea. I'm like, that's a random one. We went to Dubai, and at 11:59, we stood in the sea, and all the fireworks went off and everything. And she was crying, and she loved it. And it was like, that was one of her. It wasn't one of mine. I enjoyed it, but to see that and see that happiness,
it was a great satisfaction for you.
Made me then happy. So, with regards to success and happiness, sometimes it's weird how every single one of you mentioned how somebody else's happiness made you happy. And that must then, when you start realising it without in the subconscious mind, it was only when you three started talking about it then, and I sat back a little bit, and I was like, wow, this must be a trait for successful business people, not just business people, but happy people in life. Like, what are these people that are sad or depressed? What are they doing to make other people happy? Or they just sat there on the couch watching TV in the morning and watching the news. Do you know what I mean? Like, what are they doing to help others? Because when they help others, they probably won't be sad and depressed.
It's such a good satisfaction.
So I've always understood, like, try and help others out. But like when you'd seen that, then it was like, actually, that's a bit of a...
I guess we can frame it like when people focus on just making money, I believe it makes them depressive because they're always racing against time with the numbers.
Yeah.
And I believe that process ends up making less money.
Yeah, it
But if
does.
you just focus on creating something new and helping people, money eventually comes. It's like money is a side effect of actually hard work and solid work, actually.
It's probably
Money,
a little
yeah.
bit of a two-edged sword, this, though, because then probably all four of us have the same issue of we also always say yes to people because we that's the two-edged sword. You say yes a lot, and it's like, oh God, I probably shouldn't have said yes, but well, I've said it now. I'm helping.
The balance is the key then.
Finding the balance.
But also, when you start to say no and focus on the monetization, I believe it should, at least a person always should be doing maybe just meditation to make himself to remember what was the real goal or the first goal in the first place. Because, for instance, when I see you and talk to you, I always feel like it is worth to come here. But I just focus on the business side. It doesn't worth to come to an SEO conference
Yeah,
for the
like,
business.
definitely not for business. If you go to an SEO conference to make money or get leads, that's not the right place to be.
But when you come here for helping people explain these things and also create a new movement or the effect and having memories together, I believe it is worth for nearly everything. And it also makes me happier when I do SEO because I always remember people when I do it.
It gives you more drive.
Money can't motivate you just for enduring all these big processes. To be honest, it's too much work just for money. You need some personal attachments there as well. But also my style that if you just focus on the attachments, I believe some people will exploit you. Yeah. And I guess it is what you mean there when you try to say no. And sometimes I believe people don't realize that they do exploit on you as well because they don't realize it since you don't tell them explicitly. And I believe it requires some maybe implicit communication skills. Like maybe you don't tell it explicitly, but you just annotate it. Maybe some different things. What do you think about it? To be able to say no and focus on your own business goals, would you use some communication skills to imply it or to annotate it?
Which scenario would you think that you would want to say no, but you did say yes? So let's take a scenario.
It's a better point.
We have a lot.
Let's get there.
When we spoke inside on stage, so many people came over to us and asked us the question to say, why did you argue in January? And that was what was the argument that was happening in January? Like, we are great January this year, right? We are great friends and we're great business partners, right? But in January this year, it was me that was like asking Carl lots of questions to say, why have you said, and no, don't get me wrong, I'm arguing with Carl and blaming Carl. And then when Carl then actually gave me a little piece of my own medicine, like it was like, oh,
the problem is I'm a little bit more obviously extroverted, introverted, so I have to take what he says onto the shoulders.
Yeah.
And
then it takes a little time to process, then I'll say it back.
Yeah. So but I'm like, why have you said yes to all these? Like I said yes. And I was then passing it to you for you to look at and choose the best 5. Because we get certain people coming over like, oh, here's an investment opportunity. The business is worth £1 million. But if you give us 100,000, we'll give you 40% of the business. So it's an unbelievable deal. So I'm like, tempting. That's a good deal. Pass it through. What can we deal with here? And then Carl goes, that's a good deal. That's a good deal. That's a good deal. So we just say yes to everything. But then what ends up happening is, yes, we can run it successfully from a business standpoint, but am I being successful in the gym and working out and my health? Am I being a successful dad? Are you being a successful husband?
Yeah.
At that, then you start to then weigh up. No, we're doing too much. And at that point, you need to take a step back. So I was blaming Carl. The truth of the matter is, it was just as much my fault as it was Carl's. And when Carl then said it back, I was like, oh yeah. But the good thing is we're able to have that chat and that conversation and actually bang heads and be like, well, what is it? Was it okay? Yeah, I'm now going to pre-vet before I give it to you.
So you're ready to compromise as well, like your truth. Because everyone, when you argue, everyone's...
Yeah, of course you need to. Yeah. If you don't and you've got like 2 positives in a battery, it doesn't work. You know what I mean? You need to both be able to if it's an elastic band and things are going bad, you've got to be able to understand, okay, I'm now stretching his elastic band. I need to stop stretching it so much. And he needs to understand why my elastic band will snap. And you kind of got to push each other, but understand each other's boundaries and respect each other's boundaries as well. Because I know Carl loves doing his plunge pool in the morning, right? I know he loves taking the dog for a walk. I know he wants to have a healthy breakfast. I know
that's why I call you a princess.
Yeah. then he wants to go to the gym in the afternoon. I respect all of that, and it's like, no, don't ever stop doing that. Now, if he's got too much work and then he can't do that, that's a problem. Not for him not to do what he really enjoys and loves. That's a problem within the business that we need to sort out. And he needs to respect that my time when I come home from work
after
is
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock till 7 o'clock is my kids when I'm going out for a bike ride. Don't ring me unless the office is got burned down.
Yeah.
Do not ring me between 3 or 7 o'clock.
Someone's just jumped.
Unless between 3 and 7 o'clock and you ring me, it better be something big.
Serious, yeah.
Right, otherwise I will be really annoyed. And I never really get any calls between 3 and 7 because I have that time with my kids. And it's my dad's time. And I love it.
It's actually my next question too. So how do you balance being a good father and being a good businessman? How do you prioritize it? And how does that affect the business? What's your methods?
I would say from the outside looking in to do the situation is he kind of, when he's at home, he does as much as he can for the kids. And he's always, I think 3 o'clock, you can almost guarantee he's always at the park. He'll take the kids out, like experience.
This is also one thing too, because this is a great point too, because whenever I talk about Dooley in a good way, I never talk about
very
it's the only mistake that not like a long shop, nothing else. So whenever I actually explain Dooley and his actual talents, skills, advantages as well, and I also see you as a mentor for me for the business angle as well. And someone always tells me that he's a party monster. So this is the only thing that you see. Literally, you explain lots of things and you educate us actually for the business in a very good way. But always they see a party animal, party monster.
That's gone. Like, to be fair,
they still do remember.
He backdoors it more than anyone.
Last night I go partying, I was in bed 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was like, oh, what are you doing? Why are you going up?
Yeah, this is a true story. So last Chiang Mai, we had quite a few people came out to come party with the boys. And every night he was like, oh, you're going to party tonight? I'm like, no, we're going back. Are you going to party tonight? No, we're going back. Well, on the Friday, it was but we'd said Friday is the party. And it was like 10 a.m. And he was like, the boys are out. The boys are out.
I remember that. Jason Capuzzi. Hi to the Jason. He actually told me that, okay, Dooley is on. And I didn't understand what he means. 5 minutes later, Carl was holding the Jason. and also, Jason and also James was actually pouring vodka from the mouth of the Jason as well. I was running away.
So the boys were having fun.
Yeah, definitely. But
just less.
The main thing there is also, it's actually that's why I call two-person Dooley. It's one of the names. I found the name there. If you take that two good person, it's good enough for you, but a third person might kill you. And in this case, actually, you are a family person for the 98 of the times, actually.
It doesn't match with the party kind of character, right? It's like,
since people don't see that side of the Dooley, and they just remember he drinks blah, blah, blah type of things. And when I explain that he's actually a great person for business, etc., they know it, but they always remember the other side. And it's one of the things.
I think it's mainly because, in my wedding speech, I speak about life is all about balancing is like the place of what you can, whether that's family, friends, making certain you go out and having experiences. Now, I'm all about being outside in nature. Get yourself outside. Stop staring at a screen and an iPad and watching TV. Go and do, this is what Carl was trying to say, normally at 3 o'clock, I'm never inside watching a film with the kids. I'm outside. I'm on a bike ride, it's raining. There's no such thing as bad weather.
the clothing, right?
Just inappropriate clothing.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Well, it's raining. Well, put some water on and get a muddy ice to play in the mud and eat a bit of mud. That's fine. Eat some worms. We get yourself out there, but it's all about spinning the plates. Now, the truth of the matter is, in my opinion, if one of them plates that you're spinning smashes, then something's going wrong. Now, whether that's family, friends, business, health, or like happiness in going out and having the experiences and stuff. So what's ended up happening is prior to me having kids, I had a lot more time. And that time was spent more going to the gym and more partying. But now I'm trying to be the best dad I can be. I've now I can't spin the party and play as much. I still love going out and having a good time with friends. So I don't do it as much, but when I do it, I go, like Jason Carpucci says, I'm on. But I'm normally on or off because I can't be one of them that's going to have a few drinks. Because then I get really excited and I'm like, right, I'm all in. But I'm either all in or all out, and I've got to either backdoor it or I'm going to be out till 4 o'clock in the morning.
It's also about we come together rarely.
Yeah.
Like when we are together, we should do something unique. And
Make it intense.
Yeah, and also all the speeches are done, and we help people, and then we also want to do something different to actually ease the stress and let it go. So
I just let you know, I'm probably going to be on to
There was a funny situation. So we all went to where was it, Palma, and Dooley wasn't in the mood that night. He was. You could just tell. He just mad, bit flat. So then Adam or Hearn went, look, get that shop girl to come over. She had like 30 shots. I was like, right, we'll have all 30. He has to drink them all. So then by about shot 10, you can see he's starting to chirp up a little bit, and then he's getting happy, and then all of a sudden, that's it, he's on. It's like you turned the switch to switch.
Something tipped over.
Yeah, exactly. But Ferry, how do you manage kids, family balance?
Business? Did you, for instance, miss any, any program of your kids because of the business? Did you regret about it?
Not like the important ones. If it's a very important program, like, I don't know, Christmas, going on, the girls are going to stay for like celebration of Christmas, and they do like acting, or like they have like iRock, they have like, they're in a band, in a school band, and I never usually miss those. Sometimes, they have ice skating on a Monday evening, so usually I take them to ice skating. But if I have something very important, I do skip that sometimes, or pick them up from piano. But I'm not figuring out, I'm not prioritizing enough. That's kind of the right word, of like spending even more time with the kids. I think I need to work on there.
I'd say you've got to be careful. Like, from managing your conversation, I thought the way you're doing is brilliant. Because what you can do, what people need to understand as well is, if you start spending more time while you would class as being, let's say, a better dad, right? Your business is not going to be as good.
Yeah.
So you've got to kind of weigh it up now. What I absolutely loved and adored of what you said was, it's half term, every half term or 6 weeks, you're going away on holiday. Yeah. So the kids then can know, okay, dad's in work mode Monday to Friday. Sundays, you don't touch anything on a Sunday.
Yeah, Sundays, Sundays is my time, yeah.
All day. And sometimes what I would say is there's certain dads, right? No disrespect to these people that are like this, but there's certain dads that might be present more with the kids. They might see the kids more, but they're not really present.
No, they're attached too emotionally, yeah.
The kids are sat in the corner watching their iPads and they're not even communicating and talking. When I get to see my kids, I'm like, we're going doing something. We're going out. We're going experience it. That's what you're like with regards to, right, it's half term. We're going out. We're going on a holiday.
If it's half term, 6 weeks, travel around Europe or like around the world.
I think everyone always wishes, and this is what I always say, we always lack time. And I think everyone wishes like, I wish I could just put more time in. For me in the morning, so I wish I could just put more time in being able to go to the gym. Like, I just don't feel I have time to do my daddy stuff, do the work stuff, see family, see friends, and go to the gym. Like, as much as I would like.
Where do you compromise now?
I'm rushing around doing stuff to I need to be home for 3 o'clock. So I wish I could do that. But then we're always going to wish we could improve on time management. But you can only do so much.
I believe there are also some good sides that comes natural too. I'm not a father yet, but I always try to prepare myself for that. And that's why I'm asking these questions, to learn from the experienced ones. And a few people who are successful business people and also fathers, they told me that the kids make you way much more patient.
Yeah.
And make you also way much more calm for really stressful situations, because you always think about the family. And since you already are being tested by new beginning humans, little humans, then normally you, let's say, get angry. for something, but after the kids, you realize that it doesn't work to get
Well,
angry at all.
the thing is, you have to develop like kind of like a wall when the kids are shouting and screaming. It's like training for business, right? Like I just keep calm and you can shout, okay, it's gonna be fine, and then they chill out, and then it's not too bad. So it's a training.
That's why actually I mentioned that chemical thing, because I believe human brain through the time it For it, because I guess I can't think like you think right now, not because I'm not a father yet.
You've not been trained. Yeah, you've not been.
I'm also too young, I believe, because I believe that whenever we have a new decade in the life, I guess the brain changes. And that's why, for instance, we don't remember our own childhood. To remember your own childhood, like completely, because not at all, right? Because when you have a children or child, basically, it takes time to have that empathy because we forgot how it was. And we don't remember because we changed. And I guess getting older also,
it makes you a more empathetic person for sure. Having a child.
Go sorry.
Yeah, having a child develops. You become a child again as a man. Yeah,
I think you having kids, mini Korays running around would be
difficult mess.
would be brilliant. Would be brilliant for you, because what I would say is babies and kids are so more intelligent than what meets the eye, and they know how to manipulate. They know how to push their boundaries, right? So you can have kids that are crying their eyes out, and you're like, no, you're not doing it, and you feel so sorry, and you're turning around going, I just want to go and give them a hug. And the next minute, when they know they're not going to get it, they turn around and stop. And they're like, they know how to push your boundaries, and they know how to manipulate. And then when you start realising that, you would start to become a lot more conscious of your time. That when someone's wasting your time, you will learn to say no a lot faster. Or if you're in a business decision or whatever it is, you'll learn to be, no, that's not what is happening. Or if someone's coming and trying to manipulate and use you in some way, shape or form, you'll just know straight away, no, I'm not having this.
If I can say no to my own kid.
Yeah, exactly.
I can say no to anyone.
Exactly.
100%.
Yeah. It's a very good point, actually. It incentivizes me as well.
Yeah, good.
Father.
So when down to action.
You're going to move in. So I want to come and visit your new house in Turkey.
Wasn't it about 5 months ago, like podcast? He said he was moving with him when he got back.
Moving in next week.
When he got back home.
That's one thing that actually I am thinking always, because whenever I come to a conference, my wife always gets a little bit, of course, upset, because whenever I do these speeches or lectures while helping the industry, I always delay family side. That's why I prepared these questions, actually.
Do you want us to rent a van? We'll come across. We'll lift the furniture for you. We'll see.
It would be good.
I'll be your removal man for a week. And I'll come and take it from, where is it, Istanbul? And take you down to the coast.
I believe after Estonia, I am definitely going. And I would be happy to, as I always say, all of you can always visit us there. You can go to the Ephesus. And I guess our first gathering, that exclusive event for maybe just 100 or something, will be in Kuşadası. So I guess it will be one of the good moments to know the area. And I guess then we can work on saying no together. Like, we can list all the invitations together, then we can choose this is no, this is no, this is no.
I want a Turkish barber haircut. I want a Turkish shave. I want a Turkish kebab.
Turkish massage.
You also look like Turkish.
Yeah, that's what And then a massage and a Turkish bath. I want all that mud all over me and getting in this sauna.
The Turkish bath might be really harsh. I can't.
Nah, like it's all like.
Is it more
Are they going to jump on you?
harsh than what we did?
Yeah, of course. Because a fat guy will come and.
Are they going to jump on you?
Yeah, they will hold your arm and take it stretch it, and they will rub you all day.
I don't want that.
No, a fat guy.
But you can't believe that how much that skin they are taking from your body. Your color changes.
It's all right.
Your face color,
Really?
your skin color will
They are
change.
so good.
You've done it?
Yeah, I've done it.
You might be losing even weight.
You might lose a kilo.
They literally take your skin out. You know, like
That's crazy.
Felt like a snake.
I'm going to
You
try
feel
it.
relaxing.
I'm going to try it if I go there for sure.
Turkish
take
bath.
some painkillers.
Really? No, it does.
It depends on what you ask for. If you tell that feel free, they will really harsh. Yeah. So it's not like Thai massage or body
I've never
massage.
done Thai massage. I've heard that's kind of also like tough.
Yeah.
Is it?
We have an experience.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, me and him went in one.
Koray gave Carl a massage.
So it was so funny. So he was the woman started like massaging, and you could see she was like,
What the hell?
Yeah.
and then he starts going,
And
then I'm like, I'll start laughing and then stop.
they were also laughing at. They were charming and also they were laughing at us.
We came out at, I need a massage.
Yeah, we couldn't even walk. Actually.
That's crazy because the girls here, there's like a massage section in the hotel. They said they do Thai massage on Friday and Saturday. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go for it. But now I'm like,
You had a massage.
I had three massages.
Touched by an angel.
Touched by an angel. That was the name
What
of
you
the
have to
massage.
remember here, Ferry, is the Thai massagers, they're usually not trained masseuses. Whereas here, they're probably trained in masseuse.
Oh,
Like
okay.
they're trained in massage, whereas Thai
Okay.
are kind
It's
of
like-
just
like-
not.
Kind of feels like you're in a WrestleMania. Elton's dropping you.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We experienced these things actually together thanks to the
was a great
conferences.
experience.
That's why I'm telling you, it's the only good side, being together and spending time together.
Having these unique experiences.
One section together. To be honest. Like for me, to be honest, the main one will be my own. And actually, it was the inspiration. Just I was thinking that instead of I go every country, how about everyone comes from these
Oh,
countries?
yeah. Come
To
to
me,
So you have to travel,
It
no more
was a-
visas.
Yeah,
right?
it was a selfish motivation,
Yeah,
but
good,
I
very
need
good.
that. I need that.
That's what I've said to you. Let's get to Turkey. Eh? Let's get over there and have a good time.
Yeah.
Anyway, talk next week. Or is it the week after the course is opening back up?
Yeah, we are opening it
Talk
again.
to me a little bit about that.
It's actually funny because I didn't open the gates for a year, and I believe my scrapers and pirates, they have made more money than I do. They just scrape everything. They even try to sell to my wife. Yeah, like they message
No
my
way.
wife by telling that, do you want to Koray course?
Oh my god.
They try to
Can you do something? Can you legally do something? Or is that worth it?
Not that much, but also these people need money. I know that as a kind
That's
of...
not that I do. I answer though. Really. But when they message me, I say, no, it's crap. I don't like Corey's course.
And legally, we can't do that much. And also, many people respect our intellectual property.
And they don't buy it.
Yeah,
They don't buy it from
they
them.
support
Yeah.
us. So
That's
we're
the right
with
thing to
that.
do.
And we will be adding new lectures because for the last 12 months, I was visiting every country, preparing a new speech. I was binding every speech to the next one. I believe it is a unique thing. I didn't see someone else was bounding every lecture to each
Oh
other.
yeah, you were saying that, yeah.
Yeah, taking a recording and making it a course model. Because from Estonia to the Bulgaria to the Hungary to the Vietnam or Thailand, every country that we were in, including Poland, there was a new bounded lecture to each other, different projects with naked names. So I made them a different lecture series. We will also be adding new concepts, new recordings as well, and we will be releasing them gradually. And I believe that people are excited for that after 1 year. It will be really fun, I believe.
That's very good. It's like a double value. So you are actually building your course, but just it happens that you also presented them to like as a conference.
Yeah, because
That's good.
I believe maybe even over 5,000 people in total in 1 year we made speech to, and everyone actually has only one part of it. And if you want to see the full part, you should come to the
Absolutely.
course and the community. And after the lectures, we will be adding the conference speeches. We'll be adding some new concepts part by part, and we will also be sharing the topical map feedbacks. I guess people will like it, but I try to keep them very simplistic, so it might confuse some.
So does this mean there's going to be another 500 bloody hours added to
No, I keep them short as much as possible. Oh, it's one thing. When I keep it very short, they ask extra questions and make it longer.
Yeah.
And when I make it longer, they also tell you that these are a shorter version. it's like just this.
There's no win there.
Yeah, that's why I'm also even thinking about maybe I should have a long lecture and short lecture, and they can choose whichever they want.
That's true.
It might be-
bad idea.
Yeah, it's like the burger with different type of meats. Like
The issue is though, like with the short ones, is then everyone some of it leaves it to their own mind.
Interpretation.
Interpretation of it,
Yeah.
and then they run that way when it was that way.
That's
and
one
then
of my
it's so tough. Like we're in the co-work group, and that is so active. That co-work group.
Yeah, because everyone understands something, but also everyone understands an angle different. And then they started discussing. That's why community learning is important. And that's why I try to keep things long so they can have the details.
Yeah.
But whenever I keep it short, I'm sure that some people understand it differently. That's why I didn't show my screen in the first version, because I know that everyone will get a different meaning from it. Now in the second one, this year we will be showing my screen because I know that they are prepared, or more they will be understanding, actually.
Yeah.
Let me ask one more question to you all, actually. So what was your first job? Did you like it? Or did anyone fire you from that job, to be honest?
So my first job was working in a call centre on minimum
I
wage.
can't imagine him like in a
So
center.
I was actually
You
pretty
also
good at
have a
sales.
very,
Like,
very deep accent. Nobody will understand.
yeah, like, I think that's what annoyed people. Like, all right,
Say it
got some
again.
double glazing. No, do it.
Yeah.
On the phone then.
You know,
But I would want my kids to have a job in a call centre or just dropping newspapers off and earning their own way at a young age, or working in a fish market, just doing something that like they really don't like,
Yeah.
so that then their expectation of work is down here, and when it's maybe on here, the reality is there. The delta is happiness.
They can
Because if
appreciate-
someone was an amazing first job, coming working for yourself, Ferry, 4 days a week, what an amazing place to work. If they go and try and get another job now,
we are
they
ruining
don't get
people.
4 days,
Yes, no.
you're ruining them.
Yeah.
we are
They
running them
start
big
another
time.
job, whatever they do, their expectations
Exactly.
here, the realities here, the delta's unhappiness.
It's our evil plan with people. Once they come in, they are ruined. Their career is done.
Yeah.
They cannot work to any other company, because like, why would you go to like 5-day work week and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
we ruin people.
So what about yourself? Obviously, you was doing a lot of spraying.
Yep. So at age 16, because we didn't have money, I didn't go to like high school or university. I had to start working so I can have money. So I was painting cars, and I enjoyed it. Like, painting cars, not just painting. It's like, when the car is damaged, you have to do the lines. You have to use body filler and then sand it down and make the perfect lines, the perfect shapes. So you have to literally feel the ripples of the body and then put body filler on, sand it down with sanding paper. So it's like an art. I loved it.
Pretty crazy, right? Because no disrespect, it is just painting a vehicle. But the emotion that you'd have brought,
Oh, no, it is.
was
Yes.
needed. And like,
kids
when he
can
was
start
telling me, like,
feeling-
I was the best paint sprayer.
Yeah,
there was.
I was.
And people would travel to me out of town and come to have me do it. That passion and enthusiasm is so real. Oh, yeah,
It's
man,
That's for every
Everything.
business.
Man,
Yeah.
I was looking at waitresses and waiters. I was thinking, if I would be that, I would be treating people like kings and queens. And even like a simple, I mean, it's not simple, but even a job like a waitress or waiter can be done like at this level, or it can be at this level, like, hi, what can I do? Like,
Yeah.
hi, how's your day? How can I help you? Everything can be done with passion, and the person doing it will enjoy it more. Anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
My
yeah.
job. So I didn't last long because I quit, and it was primarily because of my dad and what he said to us. So the job was stacking shelves at Tesco's. 16-year-old. I lasted one day.
That's why I call you a princess.
I went home, and my dad just went, You've got no colour. You've lost all the colour in your face. Like, your energy's gone. And he went, something very important for you to learn now is find something you enjoy doing and then work out a way to get paid for it. And then you'll never have to work a day in your
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, this
And then that's... At the time, I was young, but I was still doing a lot of like websitey stuff, but wasn't really getting much pay. I was very young, so then I went more into that.
Nice.
What about you, Koray? What was your very first?
Mine was a little bit different because since I'm coming from Turkish culture, things are a bit different. And I guess my first job was selling lemons in bazaar. I was,
Oh, wow.
I had actually a kind of, I don't know the English word, like something like this, a kind of box, let's say.
True.
Imagine that, yeah,
Oh, right.
yeah.
I thought you'd been a brat.
Yeah, bruh. I was putting the lemons in.
Take my lemons.
And I was just walking in the bazaar and I was trying to sell it because my father is from the southern Turkey. We have lots of orange farms. And we were bringing some of the lemons, and I just thought that I can actually sell these things.
Was it
because-
your farms or was it just?
Lemons to put in drinks or just to have a lemon? Like, maybe just eat
for
some.
fruit, eating or for food or anything. You basically sell in the street. It's
Right.
not like a regular business. It's my own business, basically.
Yeah.
And the lemons was free for me since it is coming from the family, no
Yeah.
cost. I was just taking the lemons. I was like, I guess just 8 years old or something.
that's cool.
And a small kid basically just walked with the
What he's
lemons.
not saying is his dad was buying the lemons at the supermarket, and every bloody day his dad was going, "Where the hell's my lemons gone?"
I used to do that. My very first job, actually, there's one. This is at school. I used to get my dad to buy me like a pack of Mars bars. I used to get a 5-pack of Mars bars, and I'd take the full pack. And like Mark and Dave, my two other boys, like, "Where's all the Mars bars?" Oh, Dad must have took him to work with him or something. And then I remember that in my thing, I'd go and sell them for like 20p each. I'm like, yes, I'm in pound.
Yeah.
I'm my own little tuck shop in the brain.
In my job, actually, thanks to that, I learned many things too, because in the bazaar, let's say you walk and there is an old guy, and he also sells lemons, and he sees you as a threat. Since you're a small kid, he just actually looks at you in a bad way and shows the direction to go.
Yeah.
Then I realized that actually selling in bulk by doing a discount was way much easier. I just went to the restaurants, kebab restaurants, and I shown all the Mediterranean fruits to them, and they like it. And I was selling all to the restaurants. And then my father was asking questions like, "How do you sell these things so fast?" And I just told that I'm selling to the kebab restaurants, and I learned that actually I'm selling for very cheap. Then my father went to the kebab restaurant and told that this is very cheap, don't you feel any shame? This is just a kid.
Wow.
And then I was increasing the prices. Then I was just selling a portion here, another portion here. They were telling me that this lemon, that is not that good, but it was like actually like a shower, like you see squeezing it and it's like just dripping in really huge amounts. And then he tells me, "I won't pay for this." And then I say, "Okay, I am about to exit." Then he says, "Hey, stop, I will pay," etc. So I learned
To walk
everything
away
there.
from a deal.
Yeah, and for a kid, it was a really good thing. There was also a funny thing. While I was selling lemons, one family, a lady, told that actually I'm in a hard situation. He just has given me money and didn't take the lemon, and I was shamed. Because I was actually, no, I'm not doing it for that. I'm just doing it for fun. Etc. So the interesting experiences. I'm glad that it happened because I believe this is a problem today's Z generation. They don't do that much.
You don't have enough, wide enough
You
range
should
of
have
experiences.
some bad stuff when you are little so that you can be ready for the reality, that expectation thing. Because they watch Netflix and in the television series, they see that an intern meets with the CEO, then they solve a 20 years old problem, then they become the manager of the entire region, then they live in love with the CEO. And these are stupid scenarios. And when you look at the actual reality, you need to be an expert for one thing, and it usually takes like 10 years. And you need to show all the patience, and you always need to stay calm, and you should protect the positive attitude as much as possible. And I will try to pass these things to the future generation from my family as much as possible.
As like as you said, like people don't go through enough things in life, so they get more like more resilient on things. Like when I was a child, we have like traveler families on our street, and we also had like lots of dogs. And every time I went to the shop, they were like the kids of the traveler families were throwing stones at each other. And then the dogs were running after me. So it was like a crazy experience there. Like you had to be, adapting and running and doing things. So it was like a crazy childhood. I think people, as you said, just you're on a tablet, you don't get to experience those.
They should start
dangers.
hitting the wall a little bit, and they should feel some pain.
Yeah.
Because when I get my first, I don't know the English word for it. Imagine that someone is angry to you, even if they are right or wrong, but they just is superior and tell something bad to you. You should be able to take it in, digest it, and keep doing the same thing. You can't have any resentment, for instance. And I believe it takes time to get these realities for the new generation.
Over and over and over,
It's also valid for SEOs too. For instance, I don't know, maybe I have endurance, because when I was in the casino niche, I remember that we had a lunch and I worked like 36 hours non-stop. Then I went to the house for sleeping with a private chauffeur. And 4 hours later, the boss just called me, wake me up, called me back. I went there and worked another 8 hours. Then I returned. If it is important that for that moment we never say no and we just do it, we were successful. So it is worth that. That's why maybe I was, working like crazy in the white hat industries, because I couldn't see someone similar. Because they always have insurance or everything covered so well. They don't have to be hardworking that much, actually, to be honest.
Indeed. They give they just If you're not being pushed with something, you don't have to develop that part of resilience in your mindset. It's the mind.
Resilience is one of the most important mindset traits you need to have. I think we all need pain in our life.
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
to build that resilience.
You cannot develop the character if you don't have pain and if you don't like pressure.
Same also happens in army too. For instance, when I was in army, it wasn't hard for me, but many adults, they're like, let's say they are judges and from every occupation, they were about to cry. They get everything like a resentment. For instance, my commander, if he says something bad, I just say, yes, commander. Yes, commander.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
just be humble. Yeah.
Yes, it be. Not just humble. I don't have another chance, by the way. It's the rule.
He's,
They-
yeah,
He
yeah.
gets slapped to the
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
Is the army still
Yeah.
mandatory in Turkey?
Mandatory.
At 20, age 20?
1 year or 6 months. When I
When-
was in the 6 month section, it was one of the hard situations, to be honest. But in a way, I loved it. I had many responsibilities there. I am tested by many things.
Yeah.
There was a funny moment, though. For instance, I was I don't know the English word again, sorry. Guardian for a passage. And let's say a lieutenant came and told me that even if a general comes here, you won't allow them to pass.
Ooh.
I am just a regular soldier, and he expects me to say no to a general. And I say, yes, ma'am. So I was trying to handle both sides. As
So
much
did
as
the
possible.
general come?
Oh yeah, of course they come.
And they got past
They,
it.
of course, they also come like with private guardians as well, and you can say no like that easily. But in the Turkish army, it was like after the coup attempt, and they were having some fractions, and everyone is suspecting from each other, and you're in the middle of entire feud, like
Ooh.
because everywhere was full of bullet holes, because it was just after the coup attempt.
That's great.
Half of the army is fired, and everyone is trying to also understand whether this guy is attached to somewhere, and you're just a private soldier there in the middle of all the everything. But to be honest, it was the hardest experience, but perfect. It helped me to understand humans better, and it helped me to actually, I believe my face shape changed in 6 months. It was stressful, but it was the best experience that I can learn, to be honest. That's why I love this type of things, actually. I believe the other people don't have that thing. That's why they were crying, complaining,
Yeah.
trying to get health reports to exit the army, etc. But I was okay with most of the things.
Nice.
Seems good.
Yeah. Anything else? But before the ending, what we should call this episode? We usually choose the name inside.
3% Ferry.
The what? The what?
3%
Ferry. It's a nice name, actually. And we would like to name it after you, actually.
Yeah, let's do it. That's
Okay, 2% Dooley and the 3% Ferry episode is ending here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It was a great chat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're the 3 best friends that anybody could have. We're the 3 best friends that anyone could have. We're the 3 best friends that anyone can have. And we'll never, ever, 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 ever leave each other.